Hello, everybody. Welcome to Grounded Conversations. For those who don't know, I'm Liv. So, those who have video on, you can see my lovely little new tiny microphone that I've finally figured out how to work. So, fun times, excited. And again, I think it's really cute, no matter what anybody else says. Anyways, on to the episode. I know it's been a couple of weeks. Hope you've all been alright. Hope everybody's been having a lovely time. Now, something I wanted to talk about with you all today was the importance of having a balance in your life and making sure everything in your life has a healthy balance. Because I know it's so easy, especially with like people who are at work, at school, whatever, especially like around exams and all, just like school and college in general. It can be so easy for your time to feel like it's been taken away by all these other things you have to do and all these other deadlines you have to meet. And it just often feels like you don't have time to do the things you like to do. Like, I know I talk to a couple of my friends sometimes, just like, and they're just like, Liv, I literally have no time to read anymore. Like, I literally can't wait for the summer once A levels are done, so I can just sit and read all the time, because they just don't have the time to do it anymore. And like, I'm the same. And then because balancing, obviously, college, my podcast, like this, my podcast, you guys, and some, well, like the shifts I get at work, water polo, all that stuff, it can be quite heavy and quite hard to balance everything. But it is so important to make sure you at least try to have a balance in your life, because at the end of the day, you come first. And if you aren't prioritizing you and the things that make you happy and make you feel like yourself and feel happy, everything's just going to spiral and go out of control. And it's just going to be a lot more scarier and a lot more overwhelming than it should be. So I wanted to talk about how you can manage that today, and well, today and any other day, in all honesty, but just the importance of having a balance in your life. Because I know when I was looking online, a lot of different websites, a lot of different places have a different number of like the top areas for your life to prioritize. But I think the main ones for me, like at least at this point in my life, would be my health, my relationships, like my family and friends, work, as in college work and just like normal work, my hobbies, spirituality slash, right, I'll explain that one in a second. Spirituality and mental health. I think for me, spirituality is just like reading the Bible, talking to God. But that can mean so many different things to so many different people, because everybody has so many different beliefs and so many different things they follow. So whether it's just like spending time in the things you believe in, finding out what you believe in. But spirituality can also be like meditating, spending time with yourself, kind of just having time that takes you away from this world and the busyness and chaoticness of the world we live in, and kind of just gives you time to slow down, take a breath, that kind of thing. But I think for me, they're the top 6 important things in my life right now anyways. But I know other people might have different priorities to me, and that's completely fine, completely normal. Obviously everybody has different top priorities in their life, but I do think a top priority should be yourself always. And I will get on to that later on. But something I found with balancing the areas of my life is I have this app on my phone. Don't remember what the app is called, but I think if you search like time management or time tracker, it comes up, but I don't think you can get it on iPhones. So just a little warning. But anyways, that's not the point. You can, even if you don't have the app, this is just a little tip anyways. So on this app, I basically have these like different, it basically tracks what I do in my time. So I have one for the history work I do, drama work I do, and business work I do, because those are my 3 A levels. Because obviously you guys don't know what I take, I don't think, unless you're like my friend. Well, I mean, you're all my friends, but that doesn't matter. Anyways, so I have 3 that track basically the hours I spend on my work for college. I have one that's just like me time I spend whether it's like reading, doing things I enjoy, stuff like that. And then I have other ones like ones like exercise, just so I can, and like other things like that, just so I can track the amount of time I'm spending on these things a week. And then at the end of the week, I can look back and be like, right, so this week I did loads of drama homework, but like no history. Next week, let's try balance it out a little bit. Make sure it's all a bit more equal. Like, obviously, some weeks I don't do as much exercise as others. Completely fine. But I think it's nice to just have a way where I'm tracking my time and I can see what I'm doing and spending my time on. So then I know I'm not spreading myself too thin or not enough in some areas. I hope that makes sense. But I think for me anyways, be having a place where I can see what I spent my time on and what I spent my energy on helps me to kind of think, oh yeah, okay, I need to do this today, I need to do that tomorrow. Because I have a planner, which I have quite a few planners actually. I'll post on my Instagram, but I'll say that at the end. I'll post some on my Instagram, like ways to plan your life anyways, just so you guys have a bit of an idea of the ones I use, just because me explaining them right now might not be that easy to get across to you guys. Anyways, that's not the point. So I have one planner that's just like a weekly planner where I plan out what I'm doing every week. So, like if like my friends have a party when water polo training is, and then stuff like that. Just like what I need to do in a week. Cool. And I have another planner on my wall, which basically has like a to-do. Sorry, I'm just looking at it. Which basically has a to-do list at the side for the week. At the bottom, it has my week's priorities. And then it's like has bigger space for day by day. So I write my priorities for each day in that space. And I write like when I have my driver's lesson, just so I have multiple things that I'm looking at and be like, right, okay, so today I need to do this. By Wednesday I need to post and record my podcast episode. Stuff like that. Just to make sure that I'm doing everything I need to do and everything I want to do. But I also think with that, you need to be careful the standards you're setting yourself. So if you say to yourself, okay, this week I'm going to do 5 hours of exercise, when the previous week you did none, that's such a jump to get to. And just think, what are the standards you set for others? If your friend came up to you and said, oh, I'm thinking of doing more exercise this week, you wouldn't like go to them and be like, oh, she's going to do 7 hours more with this. That's a bit much, but you get the vibes. You wouldn't go to them and be like, you wouldn't think, oh yeah, they're going to be doing 7 hours more exercise than they did last week. You think, oh, that's cool. And they might just be going for like a walk each day. They might just be doing like 10 minutes of Pilates each day that they found on YouTube. Just like the standards you set for yourself, don't make them too high, because then you'll just lead yourself to failure and self-sabotage right at the start. And I mean, you need to be your own best friend and you need to love yourself. And like, I'll probably speak about this a lot, and I will make a whole episode just based on this at one point. But you need to put yourself first and think to yourself realistically the things that you can do and achieve. Because if you can't write a book in a week, but you could say to yourself, okay, I wanted to write this book, didn't start it last week. How about this week and the weeks moving forward, I just spend 10 minutes a day. I just try write a page a day. That's more easier to do, and it's so much easier to balance your time out when you're just setting these small, easier to achieve tasks, rather than saying to yourself these massive goals that are going to be so hard to actually get round to do in your life, especially when you are trying to balance everything else. If you set smaller achievable goals and achievable steps, you're so much likely to be able to just like build up to where you want to be and balance everything else that you need to do, rather than, I know I definitely do this, when I set massive goals I end up like procrastinating. Like we were set drama coursework that is on Wednesday, and I'll be honest, the coursework before, the first section we had to do, I think I did it all the night before because I put it off and just like, oh no, that seems like a lot. Scary. Like, that's loads. But I mean, now I think it's due Wednesday, today's Monday, but this will be posted on Wednesday. But I mean, you could be watching this whenever, that's not the point. So I'm doing it today, which is Monday. I'm going to do probably like at least spend at least like a couple hours on it today if I can, just as much as I want to, and then finish the rest tomorrow and then possibly Wednesday morning. Could I have already managed my time better and done it last week? Definitely. Did that happen? No. Am I dealing with that? Yeah. That's okay. Worse has happened in this world, so it's fine. I also do think when you are setting your goals for the week and you are looking at how you're going to spend your time that week and what you're going to prioritize, make sure you are always one of the top things on that list to prioritize. Because I saw this thing the other day, I can't remember it exactly, but it was like, it asked a question like, you should prioritize the tasks that need to be done first. Always, like true. It was like true or false. You need to prioritize you're like the tasks that have like the closer deadline. And I literally answer was false. So it was like you should always prioritize your health and yeah, you should always prioritize you and your health before all the other tasks you do, because at the end of the day, you matter most. You matter most. In 5 years' time, it's not going to matter if you didn't complete that one homework or if you handed it in a couple of days late. But it is going to matter if you stress yourself out that much. You make yourself unwell. Because I know I've done that in the past, and I'm starting to realize, like quite recently, how it's so much important to put myself first and my health first. Because at the end of the day, if I'm not healthy, if I'm not thinking right, if I'm not feeling right in myself, everything else is just going to fall down around me. Everything else is just going to not end up getting done. I'm just going to end up like not wanting to do anything, feeling really miserable, feeling really down. Nothing's going to happen. But when I prioritize myself, prioritize not being stressed, just like prioritizing feeling happy. Obviously, no one's going to be happy every day, and I get that. But I think trying my best to make my life feel nice and just feel less stressful and less overwhelming definitely helps me in everything else in my life, because instead of just rushing something to get it done, it's just like, oh, thank God that's over now. I actually have the mental space to spend more quality time on the things that matter most to me. Because I know full well, obviously, my podcast episodes, I'll be completely honest, they definitely need to be posted more consistently, because you've all probably noticed how they kind of just post it when Liv wants to post them, and that's because not that it's an excuse, and I do honestly apologise for this. I am working on it, swear. But this is probably, I think this episode was meant to be out a couple of weeks ago, if we're following Liv's deadline check for herself. But I went through a little stage, I was getting so stressed out with college work and everything else in my life, that this kind of just got left because I wasn't balancing the things in my life that mattered to me. So obviously, my podcast is like my baby, my child. Love it to bits. Love all you guys. Hope this is useful to some of you, one of you. I hope you're all having a great time. But I do think I need to start making sure I spend time prioritising you guys in this podcast. Because that, at the end of the day, that's what means most to me. And because when I get stressed out over all the other things in my life, I end up losing the balance and losing the things that really should be a top priority to me. So I am working on it. So don't hold me to that though. Promise it's gonna improve soon. Swear. You're gonna hold me to that. Like honestly, I'll put my Instagram thing in the bio thingy. I'm not sure if you see it everywhere, but it should be on Spotify, and I'll put it in the bio on YouTube if you're watching it there as well. Put my Instagram. If you think Liv should have posted an episode by now, if you think Liv should have posted an episode by now, then honestly, DM me anything, comment, be like, Liv, post your episode, post. But honestly, just like harass me into posting another one. Just get it in my head, be like, Liv, you're slacking. I want the episode now. Yeah, just honestly, hold me accountable. I'll give you all permission to. DM me whatever you need to do, just to get it in my head that Liv needs to post. I promise I'm going to try to get better. I swear I'm trying. I promise I'm trying my best. I mean, I do also think it is extremely difficult to have the perfect balance, and you do have to kind of think what needs to be prioritised this week and things like that. I mean, like for me this week, my personal statement for my uni applications, my tutor wants by Friday, and she gave us this deadline, I think on Friday last week. So thanks for that. Thanks for that, Lisa. Thanks for the heads up in advance. To be fair, I have written 2 drafts now. Just need to redraft it, send it off. Yippee, we'll see what happens. But I think I definitely do need to start finding more balance, because I think for me anyways, when I don't have a balance in my life, or at least when I forget to try to, I just get so stressed and so overwhelmed that everything else just starts like just gets impacted by it in a bad. Oh my gosh, sorry, I just knocked my drink over. Almost. I think when I don't prioritise the things that should be at the top of my list of not even at the top of the list, but just like prioritising balance and my health and me, I think I do forget to do that when I am focusing on other stuff. Like if I'm thinking to myself, oh, I need to focus on this. I have like exams coming up. I have this, and this. That should be my priority. It's like, actually, no. You come first. You should always come first. Because nothing's going to happen if you aren't feeling you and if you aren't feeling okay. And I mean, I know people say consistency obviously like means showing up, whether it's like, whether you're showing up with 50%, 100%, 10%. Well, it is hard to actually show up consistently to do the things you want to do to find balance if you aren't putting yourself and your health first. Like, for me, so let's say I wasn't prioritising my health, wasn't prioritising my mental health, whatever. I'm going to end up turning up to college feeling so drained, so tired, so out of it, not paying attention to classes, missing some of the stuff. I'm going to turn up to water polo training feeling so exhausted that like I just can't take part as well as I possibly could have. Because I try, and I really do try. I think it is really important to me to try and show up and be my best self in whatever that means that day. However that means, I try to show up as my best self in every situation I go into. Obviously, that doesn't always happen. Easier said than done. But it's just a goal I set for myself because I think for me, it's so important to just have some growth in life and to just try to do the best I possibly can, because otherwise, what am I actually doing with my life? You know what I mean? So I have kind of spiraled off topic, but I do honestly, I get how busy life gets, and I get how easy it is to kind of like spiral, forget what you're doing, forget about the things that mean the most to you. But honestly, I swear, just like try your best to find balance, like balance in your life. Like write down, right, this is a little task for everybody to do, which I'm going to do as well, and I shall post on my Instagram at some point. So write down the top, let's say don't go up to 10, let's say between 5 to 10 things in your life. So obviously your health, you, relationships, work, college, hobbies, whatever means the most to you. Write down the top ones and then rate out of 10 how much you think you've been spending how much you think. Right, let me rewrite that. So out of 10, go through all of those areas that you just wrote down and then rate out of 10 the amount of time and energy you think you've been spending on those things within the last week, within the last 2 weeks, and then go back and rethink, be like, actually, I put 2 for that one. That should have been more of an 8. And then just reconsider for the next week. Oh, okay, so this week I'm going to prioritise this more. This week I'm going to do this. This week I'm going to do that. And if you just spend time reflecting on it and reflecting on where you're, and being realistic and like holding yourself accountable for where you're actually spending your time and then trying to improve that, honestly, that's all you need to do. And I'm not an expert on this. I am working on it myself, and you're never ever going to get a perfect balance of everything being exactly the same, because obviously some things take up more of your life than others. It's like, right, this is actually quite cute. Anyways, it's like if you have a balanced meal, which, let's be honest, rarely happens, but just for the conversation, let's go with it. So balanced meal, it's like, gosh, this is really testing my knowledge now. Probably should have searched this beforehand. Anyways, you know that like when you were kids, how like you were taught in primary, how there was like a plate and it was like this big section has to be your fruit and vegetables. This other big section is like carbohydrate. This bit's protein. This bit's fat. And they all have like different size sections, but together it creates balance. That's like your life. So the biggest one is obviously you and your health, because come on, if it's not, what the fuck are you doing? So the biggest one should be you and your health, always top thing, priority number 1. And then think about think about all the other things that mean most to you, and then just think to yourself like, okay, I need to spend 20% of my week doing this, 10% of my week doing that, And then just think about how you're spending your time, how you're spending your energy, and then try to improve it to get more of a balance, because it's not going to be equal, because that's not how life works, and that's not how the balanced food plate works. So think about how you're going to split up your time, how you're going to split up your energy, and then work on it that way. I will find more tips on how to balance your life, and I shall put that on my Instagram. I think my Instagram, I think if you search on Instagram, live, laugh, love, smile, because I think that's what the username is, it should come up. Or just search Olivia Merriweather, and my normal account should come up, and it should go in the bio. I'll write the actual usernames for all my accounts in the descriptions below. So if you want to follow me, please, please, please do go do that. If you like this episode, please comment your thoughts. If you have any thoughts of like possible upcoming episodes that you would want me to talk about, please for those as well. I love you all so much. Thank you all for listening. I hope you will have an amazing couple of weeks, and remember, put yourself first, try find balance. I love you all always. Have a fantastic week, guys.